It's like the fucking club. It's so many kids that come to the library now to come to run around and I guess to be seen and be cute. And well, I mean, it's the library and the fucking bus hub. And I keep saying the word library all fucked up, but kids nowadays really fuck with the bus hub as far as just city bus hubs, which tend to be downtown, and they tend to fuck with the library. I don't know, I'm confused. Because I know back when I got out of school, which is the early 2000s or whatever, I was not fucking coming to the library to kick it, to hang out. I'm definitely not going to the library to kick it and to hang out. Lord have mercy. And then we find them in the hood kids. Look, this is why I can't be trying to record and watch people, because it just amazes me that kids is coming to the library to kick it and hang out like it's the club. Maybe because they don't have nowhere to go. But haven't people been hollering about giving kids community centers and shit to go to? Do we not have community centers and shit for them to go to? Or it's because there's probably more authority. At the community centers. It's maybe a little bit more controlled versus the library, because it's like these motherfuckers come and they run around in the library and have the security guards running around chasing their ass like it's a game and shit. We weren't this rowdy. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure some of us were, but the collective of kids wasn't like this rowdy and looking for the library to be the place to be rowdy at. We would like go to games and shit. After school, there would be like, it used to be low key like kind of kiddie clubs and shit. Actual kid clubs for teenagers, even though they was in there playing some shit that no teenager should be listening to. But they were considered kid clubs, and of course, they're pretty sure they're not really running shit now, but to have a teenager in this time frame, I bet would be exhausting, because I know it wasn't like this when I was a teenager. I mean, mind you, every era has something, you know, everything's not always fucking buttercups and watermelons and flowers and cucumber melon scents. No, that was the smell back then, yeah. But I don't know, being a teenager now is just like, I feel it would be exhausting. It would be exhausting, especially if there was a huge disconnect in the age of that mother having the child, especially if that mother may be super old school and is just not with it and will not be able to keep up with it with the teenager. I mean, it kind of all plays a part in where you grow up, what you're teaching the kid, who's around the kid, you know, what the kid itself or himself, herself is kind of indulging in. They got a dog? This lady drunk as a motherfucking skunk and got a dog walking her. I'm talking about an actual four-legged animal. Again, this is me attempting to finish my studies, which I'm about to continue to do, because I have a paper due by midnight. It's cold in here. There must be some clovers in the atmosphere. I said, ooh, I'm hungry. I need to go home and cook. Okay, so why I'm getting this done, we're not going to sit here.
Hi, I'm Amber, and I'm from Massillon,
in
Ohio.
Complete silence.
The best part of my job is getting to meet one-on-one with my student every day, getting to see their faces.
I should have brought some snacks. I know for tomorrow.
I think that this success of Pinky Doll, we're going to see more people wanting to be light-skinned by any means possible to elevate. And I feel like we are more comfortable with people doing that as a solution to colorism than to actually like uplift and look at the colorism as a systemic oppression that is actually like ending people's lives, affecting people's mental health, affecting people's bodies. Like it's not just like a joke, it's like a thing that people really live through.
It don't make no sense. Shout out to Maya's World. Doesn't even have to.
Hi, welcome to Maya's World. Hi y'all, my name is Maya.
Hopefully you guys can't hear every single bit of this because I don't know how this works. I don't want to get copy strike or stricken or whatever. I don't want to get a copy strike on my page. I'm not trying to copy her content or anything like that, but this is something that I'm listening to while I'm getting this damn work done.
We're calling this the light skinification of AI. So Pinky Doll is a live streamer who went viral for her NPC play.
Hey gang, ice cream so good, take a Jackie. Gang gang, gang gang, gang gang. Oh, special, gang gang.
NPC is a non-playable character, a term used to refer to people who are like background in video games and AI. This trend like really took off on TikTok, and I think that we made it viral at this time is Pinky Doll. She would do these like really animated responses, and a lot of her responses have just gone viral because of how she's delivering it, her voice and her aesthetic. Recently, Pinky Doll was at an awards show, and it has
Oh, that's cool, actually.
She does not look like the character that she is cosplaying at. That in fact she is a brown-skinned girl, a monoracially black person.
Love you. I love you. I love you.
When I first saw Pinky Doll, I thought she was a racially ambiguous person. I did not know. I thought maybe she was mixed race, but she is significantly darker when we saw her outside of her character and outside of the internet. I'm seeing a lot of discourse online. I was seeing people who were really upset that she wasn't light-skinned. I was seeing a lot of people talk about how they wanted to cancel her because she wasn't as light as she had appeared. And I was also seeing on the other side of the internet of people who were really praising her and saying, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get to the top. I'm gonna talk about how I feel.
My whole thing is, why the fuck are you pretending to be light-skinned and doing this whatever NPC or whatever the fuck that is? That's a very cool concept. I could do something like that. It's pretty much you pretending to be a virtual character, basically, which is kind of what my paper is talking about. A virtual character for the most part. And so she was making virtual like content. So say she was a Sims character and she was pretending to be a Sims character as a regular person. Fine, whatever, but why are you pretending to be light skinned? That seems like it would be a lot to do. And especially if you're the type of person that's going to award shows and doing red carpet events, you're obviously like 10 shades darker than what you appear to be on this. But if that is a part of your aesthetic or the virtual Sims player you're playing, you just put on a different skin for it. I get that, but it's like, this is exactly why this paper, I believe, is even talking about who are you online? What kind of character are you? And when you step out of that, who are you really? Because if you're literally changing the whole shade of yourself, people are already going 100 with the makeup, and when you take the makeup off, you a whole different person. This is why the trans community is able to trick us a lot more than they could if makeup and utilizing that skill wasn't a thing.
As white as she is. But my whole standpoint on this is that
But who are you outside of who you appear to be online? I don't know if you hate yourself, love yourself, if you run a game, what kind of trick are you putting on the dark-skinned people who feel like, oh, well, maybe I have to do this to be successful, and then you just putting dark-skinned people and what they stand for and what they have no choice but to be. You want them to change more of themselves. Who you are online is what you should be matching up with offline. There's a tweak here and there, but at the same time, if you are changing the whole body of yourself, and that's physical, mental, spiritual, everything, then do you even have an offline presence? If your online presence is very much so made up and pretend that it comes down to you are not even recognizable as you appear to be. You are literally a character. But isn't that the point, then, they would say? Mm-hmm.
Dark-skinned people and darker-skinned people have to essentially change who they are to succeed. Personally, I've had to really, like, over the years, I've really shifted my perspective on skin bleaching. Like, growing up, I used to be just, like, really angry at people who skin bleached and stuff like that, and really, like I had animosity. But with time, I've actually been able to shift that to compassion in the sense where I'm like, this is a tool you're using. Like, if you're dark skinned and you're bleaching, this is a tool you're using to move
a very extreme tool.
Does not want dark skinned people to move up. But, like, I don't believe that bleaching should be promoted.
Bleaching shouldn't be promoted, which is why it's kind of problematic that people are, if you're pretending to be whatever digital character, fine. It's one thing that they're apparently some people were making their emojis a different color than what they really are. I mean, that's stupid, but it's one thing to do that and then put out content that is you pretty much just, I guess, a different version of you, or a version of you that you wish you were, which is the AI, which you just, you really are the character, you really are the AI. And is that how you really want to be in your actual life? Because it all goes back to, again, who are you when you are not online?
Self-worth. I think that there's going to be something around that, especially within the realm of colorism, because these filters are anti-black. Like, a lot of these filters are anti-black. They are always liking you. They're always making you look more Eurocentric. The truth is that the public perception of how we want people to look in the future is going to be light skin. That's why, like, Kenya Burris is booked and busy, because that man will not have nobody documenting people back in any mistakes, because he knows that, like, promoting a future that is, like, more mixed race, more racially ambiguous, more light-skinned, all of those things is going to be translated to money. And I saw an article recently that in the year 2045, like, this youngest generation, they are going to be, like, the majority is not going to be white, right? So there's going to be more people who have more racial mixing, more just different ethnics, like non-white ethnic groups. And I feel like,
we definitely need non-white ethnic groups, but we also don't want to have a whole nation of mixed individuals. Now, I don't want to say that, like, oh, there should be no mixed people. I don't want it to be all just one type of person.
A lot of things happening in the U.S. has been happening in Latin America for generations at this point. When it finally gets to the U.S., whatever issue, problem, challenge that comes out, it has already been happening in the region already. For example, they're recharacterizing slavery as something else. They're taking out, the CRT, taking out any traces of any type of interrogation around white pathology. And I'm like, yeah, that's Latin America 101. Again, the idea of post-racial, especially after Obama, right? The post-racial, like, I just think it's interesting. Like, it's really, don't have
That scared the fuck out of me. I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is this? Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit going on in here. Okay, so I don't know. I guess that was the janitor opening up a whole nother secret hatch and shit. Threw me off. Whatever. I know what I was saying. Basically, I don't want it to be all. They're saying the future is looking like it's gonna be a lot more mixed race. Type of deals. I don't want it to be all one thing. I don't want it to be all to be mixed race. I don't want it to be all, I don't want one race or one particular group of people to be able to have a majority, over anything. I don't want it to be more than one. And I know that probably sounds too because honestly, it does depend on where you at. You're gonna obviously have your places that are more white culture. You're gonna have your places that's more African culture. You're gonna have your places that's a little bit more Black American. You're gonna have your Latino and your Mexican spots, your Asian and your Chinatowns and the things of that nature, your Arabs and the Indians and all of that. But I don't want things to be where everything is light is right, because then we're not getting anywhere. But honestly, we're not gonna get anywhere because colorism is always gonna be a thing, texturism is always gonna be a thing, racism is always gonna be a thing, featureism is always going to be a thing. There's always going to be an ism. Somebody and everybody is going to always have a problem because 9 times out of 10, your group of people is not necessarily being represented properly. I guess I did more talking and studying.